Is it a plane?
In other news, there have been reports of large flocks of birds flying all over the city.
That's what I keep trying to tell everyone. It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's
Hats and chats. It just has to be.
Art thou ready, feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
A plus.
I was pressured.
Don't worry about it.
I forgot the whole quote.
All right. Welcome to Hats and Chats.
Welcome.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Holidays.
Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, goat sacrifice in the name of Nyarlathotep. All your wonderful things are here.
December holidays, we love you.
That's what we did this past weekend.
Yep.
Oh, you sacrificed a goat to Nyarlathotep?
Yep.
Which was sponsored by Funko.
Sponsored by Funko Vinyl. Everyone shout at them on Twitter about their goat sacrifices.
No, seriously, can we explain that Christmas party was pretty much Funko?
It was sponsored by... we had a little friends get-together, and we all exchanged gifts for each other. And I think throughout the entire party, I think 7 or 8 different pops were exchanged.
Or other Funko items, like Dorbs and the little plushies.
Oh, is Dorbs owned by Funko?
Funko, and that Black Panther plush I gave Danielle is from Funko.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Wow.
Christmas
So
party
many
funded by Funko. Christmas party funded Funko.
Yeah. Honestly.
Oh,
Pretty much.
also, I think, this is the first podcast we are all wearing new hats.
Yep.
Yeah. Chris has an awesome Batman hat with Japanese text on it.
Woo, given to me by Sahara.
Really fancy, nerdy.
Yeah.
Caitlin's got a really badass Gravity Falls hat. You should post stuff of it on Twitter. How it's got the hidden Bill Cipher on it.
Yes, it's so cool.
It's fantastic. And I have a beer hat, which is fantastic.
It's one of the drinking hats. So
You put the soda cans on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It says don't drink and draft.
But
It's
I'm
awesome.
totally gonna just scratch it off and draw an Infinity Arc symbol on it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's definitely meant for playing drinking while playing fantasy football.
Yeah,
And
that's the point in it.
I
for sure.
literally, if there is anything on this beautiful planet we all make our homes on that I could not care at all about, it is fantasy football.
It's D&D sports.
Well, no, here's the thing. It's I already don't give a flying fuck about football. And as if football couldn't get even more boring for me, they had to make fantasy football.
It infuriates me because people get paid for it. They get thousands of dollars for it.
I don't really care. I'm more frustrated that football players get $2 million to sit on a bench all year.
Yeah.
All right, but
Comics.
let's talk about comics before we get into the Eye of Argon special.
Alright, so speaking of Christmas, we got a comic from Boom Studios.
Okay, Christmas comics.
It's a sequel comic, a one-shot, for one of their surprise hits. It's called Claus and the Witch of Winter. A sequel to Claus by Grant Morrison.
Claus, Claus, like Santa Claus?
Yes.
Okay.
It's basically Grant Morrison reinterpreted Santa Claus.
So, the story of Santa Claus, written by Grant Morrison, this sounds like the greatest thing ever.
Imagine, he's basically like a...
No, for real, I'm not even being sarcastic. I love Grant Morrison's work.
And he basically, that really unsuccessful Santa the Barbarian comic?
Yeah.
Basically, he's doing a badass Santa Claus done right.
Okay.
He's more like a Nordic hero.
Okay, so it's gonna be Santa, and he just runs in with a battle axe riding on a giant reindeer.
I don't know about giant reindeers, but I've seen the covers of it. It basically looks like a more legit fantasy.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds interesting.
I mean, we've seen cool Santa Claus before, Rise of the Guardians.
Rise of the Guardians, and how Santa is in Deadlands.
Or, have you guys seen the true story of Santa Claus? The
Rankin Bass one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That one's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, okay, so cool fantasy Christmas Santa comic. Could we get a sequel to Larflee's Christmas? Because that was fantastic.
That was pretty good. It's probably one of the most hilarious Christmas comics.
Alright, what's up?
Next we're going to Dark Horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the title of this comic, Cole's going to make a joke about it.
Yeah.
It's Dead Inside #1.
Oh, fantastic. So it's my autobiography in comic form.
I was gonna say, I don't remember anybody asking us to write a comic about us, but that's fine.
Dead Inside
Well,
#1. Yeah, there we go. It's my comic.
If our comic involves prison, then yeah. Because Dead Inside is basically it's not a fantasy comic. It's just a simple cop comic. It's like meant for Decatur fans of NCIS, Law and Order.
Okay, so it's a crime drama Christmas comic.
Well, no, it's not Christmas.
Oh, it's just a crime drama comic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
does it have
the joke is that there will never be a number 2.
I mean, it's just one of 5.
Dead
so...
Inside, that's it.
Boom. Done.
But it's
We'll leave we promise 5, only make 4, just to leave our fans dead inside, and that's the true issue 5.
But it's basically like it's a female investigator, and she's investigating inside a prison. So she has to go inside prison, and it's interesting considering the fact.
Wait, like there was a murder inside a prison. She's trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right, I gotcha.
I mean, we see.
Is there any hints that there may be like a supernatural element, or is it just strictly hardcore, like real life cop drama?
Most likely, because the description specifically said, if you're a fan of NCIS, Criminal Minds, Law and Order, you'll like this comic.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So cool.
So if it's trying to get that audience, so there's probably not going to be anything.
Yeah, it's probably not supernatural. It's just going to be cop drama.
I mean, I wouldn't say a guilty pleasure, but you know how you have that one show, it's unorthodox to you, but you watch it anyways?
That is my phone going off. Caitlin, you can cut this out, yeah?
I don't know if I want to.
Hi, hon. I'm wonderful. I'm doing a podcast right now. Say so. Hey, I'm gonna hold the phone up to the microphone. Say something for the audience. I didn't hear that. I hope the microphone picked that up. I see little waves. I hope that's audible, because if it is, that could be kind of hilarious. All right, babe. I'll call you after the podcast is over. Love you. Bye-bye. Now I don't want you to cut that out. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Just random phone call from Danielle.
It's your prison call. It's your one call from prison. You only get one call.
Everybody gets one.
That's the entire premise of Dead Inside 2.
Yeah. It's that wait for that one call.
I mean, Game Grumps has had multiple times where they get phone calls in the middle of recording, so now I feel the professionalism.
Yay, we're a podcast, for real. We get derailed.
Yay! Milestone.
First class seats to the shit show.
Alright, next we're going to go DC.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 1 of a new event series.
Yeah.
Justice League versus Suicide Squad.
Justice League wins the end.
Pretty much.
Like, probably the biggest powerhouse Suicide Squad has ever had.
Zod.
Is Zod. And that's... I'm silencing my phone now. I didn't expect to get anything else. And now... Motherfucker. This is officially the shittiest shit show that has ever been shit.
Watch, there's going to be one podcast series out there that tops us.
Oh, I'm sure, but I'm just... See, like,
shit.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Suicide Squad versus Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the biggest threat that's against the Justice League is the fact technically the Suicide Squad is a government-sanctioned team.
I mean, I suppose, but their entire purpose for existing is to receive the blame if they fuck up.
True.
Yeah. So, like...
I mean, this is obviously DC trying to market...
Cash in the Suicide Squad movie and still keep the hype train going.
Even...
Yeah, I know it's a company.
Hype train!
I feel like the Suicide Squad hype train has pretty much sputtered down into nothingness.
Yeah, it kind of like fell off the tracks into a ditch.
Alright, so next we're gonna go to... IDW.
Oh.
Okay.
And they have... Ooh, you might be interested in this.
Yeah.
The sequel to the Star Trek Green Lantern comic.
Huh.
Now it's called, what's number 2? Stranger Worlds.
Stranger World. Okay.
You knew about this, Caitlin?
There was a Star Trek Green Lantern crossover.
And it was good.
Huh.
Like, surprisingly well done.
Okay.
I forgot, who was the White Lantern? Wasn't it Spock? In the last series?
Yes.
I know Kurt didn't get any rings.
Yeah.
Because he says, like, he like, I forgot, but didn't he have, like, a snarky remark?
Something like that, yeah.
William Shatner. What kind of ring would he get?
Depends what version of him you're watching from what movie.
Yeah, true. So, Cole, have you read it, though? The Green Lantern story?
The most interaction I had... Interaction I had with, just don't... No comment. Just move on.
I'm not addressing it. I am not. I refuse. There are like 20 things that went through my mind just now, and I was like, nope.
No!
You know that
Caitlin is so animated, it almost makes me, like, super upset that this is just an auditory format, because I kind of want people to see... We should set up a camera and it's only showing Caitlin.
Like, you know that, like...
It's a special episode.
Like, you know that new meme coming around where someone pauses their face and you see, like, the equations goes around?
Yeah.
I feel that was Caitlin's face.
But it's just nothing but dick jokes. Just surrounded by dick jokes.
No, instead of like an math equation, it's the scribbles of those like immature assholes and kids. It's all like penis jokes.
You mean like the beautiful art that is bathroom graffiti?
Oh yes, bathroom graffiti.
Oh, did I quick story, real quick. Did I ever tell you about the amazing bathroom graffiti at UCF?
No.
Okay, it's right in front of the urinal, and people like took like pens and wrote inside like between the tiles. And made just nothing but grout puns. Like,
oh my god.
Oscar the Grout, Alexander the Grout, the Grouts of Wrath.
Oh my god.
It's nothing but shitty grout puns
but
just written all over the wall in front of this one urinal.
For puns, I'm glad they actually put some effort into it.
I think my favorite was right at the end, just like, I'm all grout of puns. The grout depression.
I love college students.
You know that those are the kind of people, they're like, well, I already know I'm failing, might as well just do something stupid.
But
they're so intelligent, obviously, that they can make great puns.
I know, they're born comedians. They're born Barbara Dunkelmans.
Pretty much.
Alright, what's the boys at Marvel up to?
Mighty Captain Marvel #0. She's getting a new series.
Okay, so it's a new Carol.
And Carol...
New Christmas Carol Danvers.
Carol's my... I know you Wonder Woman's your baby, but me as a Marvel... My baby is, Carol Danvers. She's such a sweetie.
Yeah.
BB.
She also punched somebody in the dick. She has to.
Yeah, just punch dicks.
Even though, here's the thing, even though it's even at that moment, even though something's technically good, you still have problems with it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Technically, Civil War 2 was a great story, but I felt like they really mishandled Carol Danvers.
Really?
Like...
I didn't read it, so I wouldn't know.
Like...
You told me the plot, and basically I'm just like, well... Okay.
Well, especially what Carol Danvers did. I'm like, she would never do that.
We're not going to say spoilers?
I really want to, but no.
Just tell us after the podcast is done.
Okay. Alright, but, what's your guys' thoughts on Carol? Kaylin, you ever read anything on Captain Marvel?
I feel like I have.
Probably.
I know.
In another comic and not a main series?
Yeah, it was actually, she showed up in Miss Marvel.
Okay.
So,
I mean, figures.
I saw her in that. And I don't know, she seemed cool, but, that's really, all I can say. I don't know
she's
too much more
she's
about
like,
her.
hey, it's Captain Marvel. She's cool. Bye-bye.
Hey, it is a lady.
I love you, bye.
Bye.
Oh my god. I'm just, inserting us in, comics or, animated shows. We're just, little kids that's like, oh my gosh.
Superman.
I love you, bye.
Bye.
We say that in the Death of Superman.
I love you, bye.
Just Superman being lowered to the ground. Bye, Soup.
Bruce Wayne just standing off to the side
Fucking kids.
Have you seen the cover of Funeral for a Friend and how many people joked about Batman's face? Everyone had this face of grief, but Batman just has this static face, and people made so many jokes about it. I know what the first one I did is huh, did Alfred cook me dinner tonight?
I wonder what Alfred's cooking. Shit.
I'm feeling Alfredo.
Did I leave my cape in the dryer?
Like, you know that kind of face, like, it literally,
It just like that blank, emotionless stare.
I mean,
like, just 1,000-mile stare.
Yeah.
So Gabriel Iglesias, the comedian, he has a new thing that's up on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, really?
Corey and I watched it last night. And there's this one part where he talks about Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, guys, I'm just going to say this outright. Batman is the creepiest superhero that there is. He's like, seriously, he shows that, like, just his voice. Doesn't it sound familiar? Want some candy?
Want some candy?
Can you help me find my dog?
I am the night.
I am the night.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, dearie me.
Tell me, do you bleed?
I will.
Oh my gosh.
One more book
One more?
from Valiant, and
Nice.
you
Oh.
will be interested.
Oh, this is all about me. This is all about me today.
All about you.
I get phone calls and texts during the
on your
fucking...
16th birthday.
I just turned 22.
Pay attention to you, girl. Everybody listen to it just as you say.
What the fuck is that from?
You'll get your very own spotlight tonight.
What
'cause
is-
It's all about you.
What's this song? Where is
I have
this?
no idea.
Pearl's 16th birthday from SpongeBob.
Son of a bitch, I should have known it was something SpongeBob related.
There's like this teen boy band that she's into. They're called, what is it? I forget the name of them.
Me too. I remember what episode you're talking about.
Direction.
No.
It was before Dave.
Justin
One Direction.
Blubber.
It was like making fun of like Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember.
The
but,
Bubble Brothers.
But they sing that song to her.
God damn it. Alright, so...
Divinity 3.
Ah, sweet!
And it takes place in an alternate. You know how Divinity, his main power is he can literally walk through time.
Yeah, and he just bends reality and does all this crazy stuff. Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I haven't read Divinity 2, but apparently, I guess according to this, he fucked up. Because this one has a subtitle: Divinity 3 Stalinverse.
Stalinverse.
He's in a world where Stalin
Mm-hmm.
became the main power. Like, Soviet Union is now global.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh.
Alright.
Communism!
Communism!
You know it's Christmas when the Russian weather is starting to arrive.
You know it's Christmas when communism strikes.
Oh my gosh. What?
I don't even know. I was just continuing what Chris said. It's all your fault, Chris.
With
Communism is everywhere.
Time is here.
So-
Stalin's mustache is on every window.
It's the me, Stalin.
It's me, Stalin.
Oh my god.
Well, if anything, if we're gonna make that joke, you might as well be Mussolini.
But
Mussolini.
but he has
It's
but
me,
Stalin.
Mussolini.
I mean, Stalin has the mustache. No, Mussolini's Luigi.
Mussolini and Stalin brothers.
Oh my
The Mussolini brothers.
Oh my
Mussolini
gosh.
brothers Superstar Saga.
Italian brothers.
Oh, we know Anthony's gonna get a kick out of this episode. He loves the history jokes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Italian brothers. Dead.
All right.
Gosh.
So yeah,
Okay.
Divinity 3, one of our favorite Valiant books.
Sweet. Okay.
Fantastic.
So those are the comics for the week. We are now going to head into our special of reading The Eye of Argon. And-
To recap, if you didn't watch last week's episode, Eye of Argon is a fantasy story written by a guy called Jim Thies when supposedly he was 16 years old. It was published in a magazine. I can't remember what the magazine was called.
Probably a pulp magazine or something.
Something like that. But it is legendary amongst like people in like English communities or writers or just fans of literature in general.
Or fantasy.
Yeah, or like fantasy fans for being the worst fantasy novel ever made.
Is it a novel or novella?
It's a novella. It's really it's short. I think it's only like 8 chapters in total.
Okay.
So we are going to spend the rest of this podcast reading as much of it as we can.
Before we mentally break.
Yeah. So take note that
I mentioned last week that I've only made it a bit past chapter 2 before shattering. I've done this before. Chris has read like maybe chapter 1.
Probably.
Caitlin's never heard a
I've
single
never
word of this
seen
before.
any of it.
And Caitlin
And,
really loves novels. So.
Yeah, so we're going to try our best to make it as far as possible. The only rules that we have is every time you laugh,
You have to trade it to the next person.
Trade the phone to the next person. And then besides that, What was the other thing you said?
What?
I thought there was another thing that we said.
Just if you laugh, you trade it off. I think that's really about it.
I thought there. Oh, and if there's a misspelling, then you have to read it exactly as it is.
No corrections. Reason if it's misspelled, read it as best you can. If there's grammatical errors, you cannot correct them. Just do it. Read it as it is.
And if you want to have fun with this with your friends, we'll put a link down in the description.
Yeah, we can put a link to it in the YouTube video.
Definitely. Okay, so
Right.
with that,
So since I have the most experience, I guess I'll start.
go ahead.
All right.
Oh boy.
The weather-beaten trail wound ahead into the dust-racked climes of the barren land, which dominates large portions of the Norgolian Empire. Age-worn hoofprints smothered by sifting sands of time shone dully against the dust-splattered crust of the earth. The tireless sun cast its parching rays of incandescence from overhead, halfway through its daily revolution. I already giggled because I just know what's coming.
Where did you go?
Halfway through its daily revolution, so right there. Start with small rodents.
All right. Small rodents scampered about, occupying themselves in the daily accomplishments of their dismal lives. Dust sprayed over 3 heavy mounts in blind colors while they bored the boredom. Bored the burdensome.
Board the boredom.
Yeah.
Let's see. Burdensome cargoes of their struggling overseers. Prepare to embrace your creators in the Stygian haunts of hell, barbarian, gasped the first soldier.
He gasped them. Prepare to face them!
I mean, it's dusty around, so they must...
I mean, like, the first sentence was talking about how dusty this, desert is, apparently.
Only after you have kissed the fleeting stead of death, wretch, returned Grigner.
Grigner the barbarian.
A sweeping blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian's hide, enameled shield, as his rippling right arm thrust forth, sending a steel-shod blade to the hilt into the soldier's vital organs. Several of them, I suppose.
Yeah.
The
heart,
disemboweled mercenary crumpled
lungs,
from his
everything.
saddle and sank to the clouded sward, sprinkling the parched dust with crimson droplets of escaping life fluid.
Life fluid? Did he cream himself or something?
I have no idea. The enthused
I've never heard
barbarian
blood called life fluid.
swiveled about, his shock of fiery red hair tossing robustly in the humid air currents as he faced the attack of the defeated soldier's fellow in arms. "Damn you, barbarian," shrieked the soldier as he observed his comrade in death. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud over the accordion's missing braid.
Accordion.
Yeah.
He is an accordion.
Yeah, it's spelled like, it's like capital E, so I guess it's like the name of...
He's from the land of Accordia?
Yeah.
That's a weird ass name.
Shaking off the effects of the pounding blow to his head, Grigner brought down his scarlet-staked edge against his soldier's crudely forged...
Scarlet staked?
Streak, sorry. Oh. Edge against his soldier's crudely forged hauberk, clanging
Why is all
to
the gear? Why is all the gear these people have suck? Apparently,
I don't know.
He's saying crudely.
Side of his okay. The soldier stead whinnied as he directed the horse back from the driving blade of the barbarian. Grigner released his mount forward as the hoarsely piercing battle cry of his wilderness-bred race resounded from his grinding lungs.
His grinding lungs?
A twirling blade bounced harmlessly off the mighty thief's buckler as his rolling right arm cleft upward, sending a foot of blinding steel rippling through the Cimmerian's exposed gullet. A gasping gurgle from the soldier's writhing mouth as he tumbled to the golden sand at his feet and wormed agonizingly in his deathbed. Grigner's emerald green orbs glared lustfully at the wallowing soldier struggling before his chestnut-swirled mount. His scowling voice reverberated.
I can't even imagine they're on horses at this point. I just imagine they're on, little hobby horses.
No, they're on chestnuts.
Just riding giant chestnuts.
Okay, his scowling voice reverberated over the dying form in a tone of mocking mirth. You city-bred dogs should learn not to antagonize your better.
His voice was scowling.
Reining his weary mount ahead, Grigner, which is lowercase this time for some reason, resumed his journey to the Norgolian city of Gorzom, hoping to discover wine, women, and adventure to boil the wild blood coursing through his savage veins.
His veins are savage.
The trek to Gorzom was forced upon Grigner.
Everything about this man is brutal. He is a metal album cover.
He is the manliest man. He is the man of all men.
It's brutal with the 2 dots on top.
He is a brutal legend.
The trek to Gorzon was forced upon Grigner when the soldiers of Kryn were leashed upon him by a faithless concubine he had wooed. His scandalous activities throughout the Sumerian city had unleashed throngs of havoc.
What's a throng?
Oh, throng?
Yeah, what is a throng?
I know it's a word. I just,
I think it'd be funny if it was thongs. I don't even know what a throng is.
Okay, throngs of havoc and uproar among its refined patricians, leading them to tack a heavy reward over his head. He had barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the inn he had been guzzling in as a squad of soldiers pounced upon him. After spilling a spout of blood from the leader of the mercenaries as he dismembered one of the officer's arms, he retreated to his mount to make his way towards Gorzon, rumored to contain hordes of plunder and many young wenches for any man who has a backbone to wrest them away. Awesome.
So is this just like a city of like bars and whores, and that's just like all it is?
I guess.
It's an entire just the whole city's a brothel.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some dudes would be into that, but that doesn't sound like the most economically friendly place.
Okay, let's see. So this is chapter 2.
Okay.
Arriving after dusk in Gorzon, Grigner discovered down a dismal alley, reining his horse before a beaten tavern. The red-haired giant strode into the dimly lit, hostelry reeking... Holstery, right? Okay. Reeking of foul odors and cheap wine. The air was heavy with choking fumes spewing from smoldering torches encased with Thedan's earth-packed walls. Tables were clustered with groups of drunken thieves and cutthroats tossing dice or making love to willing prostitutes.
There, you laughed. Alright, where was it?
Willing prostitutes.
Like willing prostitutes, but where is it on the page?
Start with
Okay, yeah. Okay, so they're just in a bar and they're just like fucking on the tables and shit.
I guess.
I mean,
This is a weird place.
I guess, like, you know how there's, like, smoke, you know, like, some places, like, you can smoke here? I guess, like, you can have sex here. There's a sign that shows fucking, like, you can only have sex.
This is a no fucking zone. I'm sorry. This hotel is a no fucking policy.
You can fuck right there in the corner.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Eyeing a slender female crouched alone at a nearby bench, Grigner advanced, wishing to wholesomely occupy his time. It's very wholesome. Wholesomely occupy this prostitute's time.
Oh my gosh.
The flickering torches cast weird shafts of luminescence dancing over the half-naked harlot of his choice. Her stringy orchid twines of hair swaying gracefully over the lithe, opaque nose. Her nose was opaque. I didn't think we had, like, bodily surgeries of this magnitude in this fictional era.
I mean, is magic in this book?
I don't know. I've never gotten far enough to know.
Magic surgeries, it's like Bethesda, like in like Skyrim, how you make your character. That's the kind of magic they have.
All right.
Who are you?
As she raised a half-drained mug to her pale red lips. Glancing upward, the alluring complexion noted the stalwart giant as he rapidly approached. So
Pale red lips?
Pale red lips.
So
yes.
pink.
So I guess it's pink, either, or is it like that weird like grossness where it's like they're red lips, where they have like a film on them,
Yeah.
kind of like a blind person's eyeball.
Yeah.
Ew.
A faint glimmer sparked from a pair of deep blue ovals of the amorous female as she motioned toward Grigner. That name always gets me. Grigner.
It's like
there's only one vowel into the I in Grig.
It sounds like a character from Dave the Barbarian.
Grignr.
Grigner.
Motioned toward Grigner, enticing him to join her. The barbarian seated himself upon a stool at the wench's side, exposing his body, naked save for a loincloth, brandishing a long steel broadsword, and an iron spiral battle helmet, a thick leather sandals. a thick leather sandals.
Just one on his foot.
He has. Okay, I laughed. I'm gonna pass it off to Chris, but
He's a dolphin.
He's a snake.
a thick leather sandals to our unobstructed view. Right there, this
I just
next
got an
paragraph.
image of a dolphin with one sandal, and I don't know.
I just looked ahead. I am so glad that Chris gets to read the paragraph that is the hooker talking, the prostitute talking. I am so happy that Chris gets to read this.
Chris,
All right,
Chris.
Go on.
Thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian? Question to female.
This is a very
Wait.
well-spoken
No.
prostitute.
No. It's his question to female. Ends with a question mark, so is the writer questioning himself?
Question did she? Did she question
the female?
Can I just say, she's a very well-worded, prostitute for...
Wow. Yeah.
Dost thou wish to occupy thine time, barbarian?
Opposed to, regular things like, hey, how much you want to fuck?
How much? 2 for a blowy. 2 gold pieces for a blowy. Go on.
'Tis nary been a day since I've seen such a fine gentleman as you.
She talks like an elven queen. Alright, go on.
All right. Only if something worth offering is within my reach, stated Grigner, as his hands quep embrace to tempting female.
Wait, he was all like, yeah, I'm gonna go get with that. He gets over there, gets undressed and everything, and he's like,
I don't think he was dressed in
don't
the
know.
first place.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
because it said, he was, okay.
I don't even remember. It just said, he was like, haha, check me out.
But it was just, going over there, and then he's just like, I don't know if you have something worth my time.
I mean, the next sentence says, who welcomed them with open willingness, so I guess this is play talk?
Welcomed... Okay, wait, hold on. So he, extended his hands, and she welcomed them with open willingness. So,
Is this, play talk in Barbarian?
Are they speaking in Orcish? Alright, go on.
Okay, that made me laugh.
Alright, back to Caitlin.
Caitlin speaking in Orcish make me laugh.
From where did you come, barbarian, and by what are you called? Gasped the complying wench as Grigner smothered her lips with the blazing touch of his flaming mouth.
His mouth was flaming.
His mouth
Did he have
was
herpes
on
or something?
fire.
He had,
What, does he have herpes?
no, he had
It's
cinnamon
because
gum.
when he was outside of the bar, he was, spitting flames.
Spitting hot, then dope
Yeah.
lyrics. I mean, he just showed the people out there his mixtape.
He had Fireball.
Grigner, the
He had a shot of
original
Fireball. Original. OG, for that note, stood for Original Grigner. Original Grigner Toady D.
Oh my gosh. Totally telling Anthony about this.
He'll just listen to the podcast.
Okay. The engrossed Titan ignored the queries of the inquisitive female, pulling her towards him
Just
and
keeps calling her female.
crushing her sagging nipples to his yearning chest.
Oh, that was a quick one. Oh, God.
Why sagging?
That's
Apparently it's just her nipple, so it's like a fine, rounded, firm breast, but then just the nipple hangs. Gross. To his yearning chest. Without struggle, she gave in, winding her soft arms. Soft. That's the first adjective that comes to mind when I think of someone's arms. Soft arms around the harshly bronzed-hide Grigner. Bronzed-hide, one word. Bronzed-hide.
Okay.
Bronzed-hide of Grigner. Corded shoulder blades. As his calloused hands caressed her firm, protruding busts. She had both of them. 2 busts.
2 busts.
2 busts. One of Albert Einstein, the other of fucking Hitler, I don't know.
1 bust, 2 bust.
3 breast 4. I said breast, whatever. You make love well, admitted Grigner as he reached for the vessel of potent wine.
So wait,
Vessel!
they already had sex already?
You make love well, wench. Admitted Grigner as he reached for the vessel of potent wine his charge had been quaffing.
You're laughing.
Yeah.
I am. I'm gonna pass it off. I just wanted to... It's such a tiny paragraph. I just wanted to finish that.
Quaffing?
Quaffing.
Coffee.
I think quaffing is when you, do that, scientist smell, when you kind of just, twist your fingers around to, push the smell to your nose.
Yeah.
Still, that's
I think that's what quaffing is, but,
Okay.
vessel of potent wine. It's channeling the wine. Like a priest channels a demon.
wine mancy.
Right here, a flying foot is the first thing.
A flying foot caught the mug Grigner had taken
He's
hold,
gonna fight a monk. Oh no!
sending its blood-red cotton sloshing over a flickering crescent. Leashing tongues of bright orange flames to the foot trodden floor.
So, like, he, like, kicked a cup of wine away from Grigner, it hit a candle, and the wine caught fire.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah, it took me a second to realize what that said.
Yeah. That's just what I'm picturing in my mind. Like, he kicked the cup, and the wine caught fire as it flew across a candle.
Okay.
I misread this. It says remove yourself syrup, but I misread it. I thought it says remove yourself Sahara.
Oh, dear!
Oh my. We have a really close friend named Sahara. So that's it. Remove yourself, Sahara.
Like, I'll show you guys.
Next time she's sitting in my chair, I'm just gonna shout that at
If
her.
you read this way too fast, would you see Sahara?
Oh yeah, remove yourself, Sarah.
Sarah!
Sahara, like, I read it too fast.
Remove your sriracha!
Remove yourself, Sarah. The wench belongs to me. Blabbered a drunken soldier too consumed by...
Okay, so he's like, remove yourself, Sarah! The wench belongs to me! Blabbered the drunk.
Too far consumed by the influence of his virile brood to take note to the superior size of his adversary. Grigner...
Adversary. Is it spelled wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grigner lithely bounded from the startled female, his face lit to an ashen red ferocity.
He just keeps calling her the female. Like, this could be a dog for all we know. Like, has he ever said that it's human?
I talked.
I mean, yeah, but this is supposed to be a fantasy story. Who knows what this thing even is?
True.
Like, I don't think it said it's just female.
Well, if a dog can wrap its soft arms around me, I don't know.
And you can caress with your calloused hands its protruding busts.
Could be like a
Yeah,
dog
I mean,
lady.
it's far-fetched for a human to have, busts with them.
Just carrying her.
But, for a dog to have busts, that's a little...
See, like, I know what he was trying to mean, but, like, a woman only has one bust. The bust is just, like, her chest. Busts. So either she had 4 breasts, or she's just carrying around porcelain busts of people.
To hell with you, braggart, bellowed the angered accordion, as he hefted his finely honed broadsword. At least he has a better sword.
You got a better sword. That's cool.
The staggering soldier clumsily reached towards the pommel of his dragging sword, but silvered flash was slicing the air. There's a silver flash? The silver flash?
The silver flash. Didn't Wally, when New 52 made him black for some reason, didn't he have a silver suit?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the weird New 52 Black Wally West.
My name's not Barry Allen.
I'm Wally West, fastest man alive.
The thews of the savage's lashing right arm bulged from the glistering bronze hide, as his blade bit deeply into the soldier's neck, lopping
bit him.
lopping off the confused head.
Just the head's confused. The rest of it's fine.
You just get an image of somebody's head being chopped off, and the expression on the face just being like, what?
A severed hand flies up and catches the chin, just like,
Oh my gosh. Okay, confused head. What is it?
Chris, where are you reading? The confused head of his senseless tormentor right there.
Okay.
So.
With a nauseating thud, the severed oval toppled to the floor as
Oval?
the segregated
What, is he, an egg?
torso of Grigner's bovine antagonist swayed. Then
He's a cow? His
Then-
bovine antagonist? He's a cow?
Then collapsed in a pool of swirled crimson. In the confusion, the soldiers' fellows confronted Grigner with unsheathed cutlasses, directed toward the latter's scowling makeup.
Like, I know that makeup can mean other things aside from, like, beauty products. Like,
Yeah.
makeup can mean, like, someone's presentation of
But
themselves.
that's a terrible way to use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you will see great examples of using strange words.
The derogatory female term that I will not use should have picked his query more carefully.
Wait, what? Does it say cunt?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, it says slut.
Oh, the slut.
Roared the victor in a mocking baritone growl as he wiped his dripping blade on the prostrate form and returned it to its scabbard. The fool should have shown more prudence. However, you shall rue your actions while rotting in the pits, stated one of the sprawled soldiers' comrades. Grigner's hand began to move his blade from its leather housing, but retarded the motion.
Retarded the like, okay. I know that, like...
That is childish to laugh at, but...
I know, but, like... I know retarded means, like, slow. I get that. And... Because even in music, a slow piece of music can be called being played in retardando. Mm. It means to slow, but I've never heard he retarded the motion.
And we're not trying to... like, that term...
Oh, my God.
It's just, like... It's... Like, you could take, like, that way, like, the way it's used in this day and age.
Oh, that's ridiculous. How the fuck did he think he could get away with that and not be laughed out of the room?
I don't know.
Go on.
So, but retarded the motion in face of the blades waving before his face. Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian, or you shall find a foot of steel sheathed in your gizzard. Grigner weighed his position, observing his plight, whereupon he took the soldier's advice as the only logical choice. So, all of a sudden, he's a very logical man.
Yeah,
he lopped the man's hat off, but he's like, oh, I can't do this.
To attempt to hack his way from his present predicament could only warrant certain death. He was of no mind to bring upon his own demise if an alternative path presented itself. The will to necessitate his life.
Is he a general? Is he like master of strategy? Is he the fucking taskmaster?
I have no idea. So the will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior force in hopes of a moment of carelessness later upon the part of his captors in which he could effect a more plausible means of escape. You may steady your arms. I will go without a struggle. Your decision is a wise one, yet perhaps you would have been better off had you forced death. The soldier's mouth wrinkled to a sadistic grin of knowing mirth as he prodded his prisoner on with his sword point. After an indiscriminate period of marching through slinking alleyways and dim, moonlighted streets, the procession confronted a massive seraglio. The palace area was surrounded by an iron grating with a lush garden upon
iron grating?
Yes.
Okay.
With a lush garden upon all sides. The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grigner was led along a stone pathway bordered by plush vegetation, lustfully enhanced by the moon's shimmering rays.
Lustfully?
I don't know. Everything's sexual in this world, I suppose.
Everything.
Upon reaching the palace, the group was granted entrance, and after several minutes of explanation, led through several winding corridors to a richly draped chamber. Confronting the group was a short, stocky man seated upon a golden throne. Tapestries of richly draped regal blue silk covered all walls of the chamber, while the steps leading to the throne were plated with sparkling white ivory. The man upon the throne had a naked wench seated at each of his arms, and a trusted advisor seated in back of him.
Okay, so like all
Hold on.
Okay.
At each corner of
Cornwall.
the chamber, a guard stood at attention, with upraised pikes supported in their hands, golden chainmail adorning their torso, and
golden armor sucks.
And barred helmets emitting scarlet plumes enshrouding their heads. It is spelled Cornwr. Cornwr.
Cornwr. Alright, so like all I'm picturing now, okay, so the golden armor with plumes. So like all I'm picturing is like Spartans now.
Yeah.
So those were like Spartan soldiers in the corners of this room. And all I can picture is Warwick Davis. Because it said like a short, stocky man. So I'm just imagining Warwick Davis. You know who he is? Mm-mm. He's the guy who played Mini-Me in the Austin Powers movies.
Oh,
so I just imagine Warwick Davis, and he's just got naked chicks next to him. And just like, that's the image in my mind right now.
It's a hard knock
life for us.
Okay. The man rose from his throne to the dais. Not dais, dais.
Dais, okay.
Surrounding it. His plush turquoise, because there's not an E on the end, it's turquoise. Robe dangled loosely from his chunky frame. The soldiers surrounding Grigner fell to their knees with heads bowed to the stone masonry of the floor in fearful dignity to their sovereign liege. Explain the purpose of this intrusion upon my chateau. Your serenity.
Serenity?
It's not spelled right.
Okay.
Resplendent in noble grandeur, we have brought this yokel before you.
Yokel? But like, I thought yokel is meant for like someone who's
like
like
country bumpkins.
yeah, but he's clearly an accordion.
The soldier gestured toward Grigner for the redress or your all-knowing wisdom in judgment regarding his fate. Down on your knees, Lout, and pay proper homage to your sovereign, commanded the pudgy noble of Grigner. By the surly beard of Mrific. Grigner.
What?
Damn it. That's
right.
funny. Mrifric.
Where?
Mrifric.
By the surly beard of Mrifk. Is that supposed to be like some kind of deity in this land? Like, there is no context. I don't think any of this shit is ever explained. Where are we? What's going on? Who are these people? Why is anything? Alright.
It's like we're in like 30 chapters into...
Yeah, it really does feel like we just skipped halfway into a book.
Yeah.
Like, we have no context. By the surly beard of Mrif, Grigner kneels to no man, scowled the massive barbarian. You dare deal this blasphemous act to me? You are indeed brave, stranger, yet your valor smacks of foolishness.
Your valor smacks of foolishness.
Uh-huh.
I want a freaking t-shirt that says your valor smacks of foolishness. What? Oh my god.
I'm gonna do a D&D game and just have like a nobleman talk like this. Just, you must take this quest or I shall smack thee of your valorous.
Just write down the best quotes from this thing.
That's all he says.
That's all he
And if we make an explanation, he's cursed.
He's cursed to sound like an idiot all the time. Alright. I find you to be the only fool sitting upon your pompous throne, enhancing the rolling flabs of your belly in the midst of your elaborate luxuriand. It's supposed to be luxury, but it's one word. There's no space.
Luxuriant.
Your elaborate luxuriand. And then just ... The soldier standing at Grigner's side smote him heavily in the face with the flat of his sword, cutting short the harsh words and knocking the battered helmet of his masonry with an echoing clang. Also, there is a hyphen in echoing. Echoing.
What?
What? The paunchy word, paunchy, Paunchy. I've never heard that.
Paunch is a word? Paunchy? I don't think so.
What does paunch mean?
I don't remember.
It's
really just one of those things where I've read a lot of books.
Yeah.
And quite a few of them, I either got it, like, I could understand them in context. I couldn't really, like, give you a definition, you know?
Alright. The paunchy noble's sagging round face flushed suddenly pale, then hastily lit up to a lustrous cherry-red radiance. His lips trembled with a malicious rage, and emitting a muffled, sibilant gibberish. What? Like, is he going like...
like from
I would like to think so.
Like from Phantom Menace, those like fat amphibious dudes that Jar Jar's part of.
Like the big fat leaders of the Gungan race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like is that what he's doing? Like, or is he just kind of like shaking his head and like his neck fat? Like, you know,
what does he say before and after?
His sagging flabs rolled like a tub of upset jelly.
Like, what does the character say? Because I want to get, like, he says something and then...
Hold on. I'm just gonna read ahead then, I'll come back to it.
Okay.
Take this uncouth heathen to the vault of misery, and be sure that his agonies are long and drawn out before death can release him.
And wait for it.
Send him to a screening of the Phantom Menace.
Oh no! Alright, I'm gonna go back and, like, read over what I skipped. His sagging flabs rolled like a tub of upset jelly. Have you ever just opened your schmuckers and it just looks back at you angrily, just I just imagine like you just open a jar of schmuckers and it just goes.
You know, actually, I'm getting a pretty clear image now. You know, like, when you see jelly, like, jiggle, I can imagine it making the noise.
You know, have any of you guys seen Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah.
You know what the noise that tomatoes make?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you open angry jelly. It just makes a noise.
What is the noise?
It's like, it's like nonsense, like, like, they like angry nonsense. Like, you gotta see the movie. It's hilarious.
Alright. Then compressed as he sucked in his gut in an attempt to conceal his softness. The prince regained his statue. Not his stature, his statue.
He regained his stature.
It's a prize collectible.
He had lost it, but now he had regained it.
It's a 1 in 100 statue. It's collectible.
It's a collectible. Then spoke to the soldiers surrounding Grigner, his face conforming.
It's becoming normal.
To an ugly expression of sadistic humor. And then it's the take this uncouth blah that I already read. As you wish, sire, your command shall be heeded immediately, answered the soldier on the right of Grigner as he stared into the barbarian's seemingly unaffected face. The advisor seated in the back of the noble. In the back of the noble. So, like,
I mean, apparently
is this like a
fat.
Voldemort thing? Like,
No, apparently he's so fat you can just sit on him.
I just imagine he's tucked inside one of the ruler's fat rolls.
This is what I do. I sit on you.
But he's still a tiny man, like we originally thought. You know,
Yeah.
still.
He's just that fat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's just this blob of a human. In the back of the noble slowly rose and advanced to the side of his master, motioning the wenches seated at his sides to remove themselves. He lowered his head and whispered to the noble. Eminence, the punishment you have decreed will cause much misery to this scum, yet it will last only a short time, then release him to a land beyond the sufferings of the human body.
Vegas?
Kill him? Like, release him to a land, like, beyond suffering. Like, kill him? Is this just, like, a really complex way of saying kill the bitch?
I'm noticing the main problem with
Send
this.
him to Mordor.
Everything has, like, 12 adjectives, and it's really
Like,
hard to
yeah.
get through.
Like, it feels like it's
it takes,
it's
like, an entire
described.
paragraph to describe, like, one action being done.
That's
But
the-
it's like if we were trying to describe something cold, we would say it's an icy, frosty,
like, it's
chilling.
the chilling frostbitten mount, icily bred its golden hands.
so it's cold.
Like, yeah, it's cold.
Like, that's the problem. It's
Like, an
overly-
entire sentence for each simple little thing of this description. It's so overlong with too many adjectives.
It's overly descriptive. I feel like I'm getting the entire adjective. Like, have you guys seen Schoolhouse Rock?
Yeah.
Remember the adjective little song?
Yeah.
I feel like this is that, like, being plastered into my skull.
Why not mellow him in one of the subterranean vaults for a few days, then send him to life and labor in one of your buried mines? To one such as he, a life spent in the confinement of the Stygian pits will be infinitely more appropriate and lasting torture.
Wow, why does this advisor hate him so much?
I don't know.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
He acts like he just like
Just, why don't we throw him in this so he can suffer immensely?
I know, and you would think like Grigner is like the worst scum of the earth.
Like, he,
Yeah.
like,
He lopped the head off of
he
one
killed a guard.
in self-defense.
He killed a guard in self-defense after fighting a drunken guy who was trying to stop him from fucking someone.
yeah.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
I think there are infinitely worse people to deal with.
Right. But no, he is
The scum.
the true fiend of mankind.
The noble cupped his drooping double chin in the folds of his brimming palm, meditating for a moment upon the rationality of the counselor's words, then raised his shaggy brown eyebrows and turned towards the advisor, eyes aglow. As always, Agafind. That name, Agafind.
Agfin.
Agafnd.
Agfin.
Agafin.
Agafnd. You speak with great wisdom. Your words ring of great knowledge.
Didn't say anything.
Wait, okay,
He
now everyone's repeating
He
themselves.
was giving pretty much an opinion, not knowledge.
Concerning the nature of one such as he, saith the king, the noble turned toward the prisoner with a noticeable shimmer reflecting in his frog-like eyes, and his lips contorting to a greasy grin.
Gross.
Ew. Nasty.
I have decided to void my previous decree. The prisoner shall be removed to one of the palace's underground vaults. There he shall stay until World War happens and Fallout begins. Okay, I misread.
I was about to say.
I just went off track. I just kept seeing Vault, and all I can think of is Fallout.
Oh.
He bought Nuka World as well, so.
Nuka! Yeah, I just bought the Nuka World DLC last night.
Oh, nice.
Crap. Palace's underground vaults. There he shall stay until I have decided that he is sufficiently simmered, whereupon he is to be allowed to spend the remainder of his days at labor in one of my mines.
When you say,
Apparently
like...
he's a soup now.
No, I was going to say...
Until he's
simmer.
sufficiently simmered.
I was going to say it's one of those vaults. It's like a freaking, like, hot corn dog fryer.
It's a vegetable steamer.
Oh my gosh.
It's a pressure cooker.
Call 1-800-STEAMER.
Stanley Steamer gets your prisoners cleaner.
And we were talking about prison earlier this podcast. It goes full
full circle.
Full circle. We do that a lot.
Just loop around forever.
Yeah.
Just like this story.
Oh.
Upon hearing this, Grigner realized that his fate would be far less merciful than death to one such as he, who is used to roaming the countryside at will. A life of confinement would be more than his body and mind could stand up to. This type of life would be immeasurably worse than death. I shall never understand the ways, if your twisted civilization.
If
his twisted civilization, what?
Like, if what? Like, is it... If it's twisted already? If it's... I don't know, full of frog people? Apparently the noble's a frog?
I simply defend my honor and am condemned. I simply defend my honor and am condemned to this life confinement by a pig who sits on his royal ass wooing whores and know nothing of the affairs of the land he imagines to rule. Lectures Grigner? That's a question mark.
Oh my gosh.
Lectures Grigner?
Like...
Did he?
Did he?
Who knows?
Or did he just think these
Dial
things?
1-800 for did he, or dial 1-900 if he didn't.
Like this on Facebook if he did. Like this on Twitter if he didn't. We'll be putting this to a vote and publishing the sequel next January.
So, on the YouTube video, comment if he did. Like if he did.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe if you want both.
At the same
At the
time.
same time.
Enough of this. Away with the slut before I lose.
Away with her.
Wait, did he?
No, he called Grigner
You're
the
a
slut.
slut.
There's no, like... Yeah, because, like, Grigner is, like, apparently lecturing the king here. Enough of this. Away with the slut before I loose my control. Not lose, loose.
Before I loose my control.
Loose my control.
Definitely Chris's turn.
Chris's-
Oh god! Wait, we get a picture of the nobleman. We get a picture.
Oh, there's a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a picture. Oh, God.
No, that, like, quadruple chin.
Oh, that...
This is disgusting.
And he smoked weed every day.
Smoke weed every
This guy's got a
day.
fat blunt in his mouth.
Alright,
So, I just read the enough of this, so start right here with seeing.
Seeing the peril of his position, Grigner searched for an opening, crushing Prudence to the sword.
Wow, that was fast.
Look, swag.
To the sward.
Sword.
Crushing
That was the
Prudence.
fastest one yet.
I was not expecting that at all.
I know. It's...
Crushing Prudence to the sword, he plowed into the soldier at his left arm, taking hold of his sword, and bounding to the dais, supporting the prince before the startled guards could
I
regain
feel like
their
that...
composure.
Okay, he's done that twice now, so I feel like either it's a common misspelling or it's just something we don't know about.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the former.
Okay.
Agafin leaped Grigner and his sire, but found a sword blade permeating the length of his ribs before he could loose his weapon.
Alright, so Grigner stabbed him, gotcha.
The counselor sunk to his knees as Grigner slid his crimson blade from Agafin's rib cage. The fat prince stood undulating in insurmountable fear before the edge of the fiery-maned comet, his flabs of jellied blubber pulsating to and fro in ripples of flowing terror.
So, like, he's not even moving, but he's so scared that his fat is jiggling.
Ripples shuffling to and fro in terror.
So is he just like doing that weird like titty shake dance in fear?
Oh my god.
Like that thing in Girls Gone Wild, they kind of like put their elbows behind their back and like shake their tits around.
With the
my
weird
gosh.
censor thing they have for the Girls Gone Wild commercials.
And he has clothes on too. It's just like
Yeah.
But it's censored anyway.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Ripples of flowing terror. Where is your wisdom and power now, your majesty?
Majesty.
Majesty. Your majesty, growled Grigner. The prince went rigid as Grigner discerned him glazing over his shoulder. He swiveled to note the cause of the noble's attention, raised his sword over his head and prepared to leash a vicious downward cleft, but fell short as the haft of a steel-rimmed pike clashed against his unguarded skull. The blackness and solitude. Then blackness and solitude. That is a sentence. That's it.
Then blackness and solitude.
Then blackness and solitude.
Is that the end of chapter?
No,
okay.
There's a couple more sentences before
Okay.
chapter's over, but silence enshrouded and ever peaceful reigned supreme. He spelled reigned wrong. Like reigned as in like a king's reign.
Mm-hmm.
But he spelled it like regular rain.
No, he spelled it without a G.
Oh.
Oh.
It like
So, like,
his
the reign-
reign.
So it's
So-
more like reindeer.
Yeah.
Or the rain's like horse's rain.
Yeah.
All right. Before me, Sirrah. Before me as always. Ha ha ha! Nobly cackled. And that's the end of chapter 2.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So, I think that's a good like stopping place for now.
Are we gonna return to this at some point?
I think we should. So here's what we'll do. If you guys like this, if you enjoyed it and you want to hear more, we'll definitely do more. Just let us know.
Comment down below if you want to see more of us reading
Eye of Argon.
Eye of Argon. I had fun. There's definitely more.
It's definitely
that was only 2 chapters.
2 chapters, people.
Oh my
It's like 12, right?
I think it's like 8.
Oh, 8 really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So there are 8. There are 6 more chapters that we can read.
Yeah,
so.
it's not long, but fuck me if it isn't
Oh
amazing.
my gosh, that's awesome.
That was fun.
So we'll be sure when we do this again that we'll kind of recap what's happened so far, and then we'll jump right into
Best
It's gonna be really hard to try and like recap what happened because it's very unclear. It's written
it's
such
really unclear. It's more like I feel like
So
the summary is gonna be like.
I feel
So
like
there's this barbarian
Guy.
guy.
I feel like
and
we can
he was like doing it, and then they were like, "Stop doing it."
and then like, he like no, and then like he
God.
smacked up.
Wait, we're gonna do the ghetto version of it.
All right, Cole squeaks in approval. All right, I feel we could say goodbye to our audience in honor of Eye of Argon. So, be gone, you foul, besmelling merchants of your disgusting, greasy mirth. Have at you with your stale havoc.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah,
Kwanzaa,
you
goat
know,
sacrifice, Neil Arthur Tap.
whatever you do. But we love you guys.
We here at
and-
Infinity Arc think you're all super sexy and awesome.
Yeah. Butts.
Yeah.
Butts.
Again.